YouTube? It's your boy Greg back again with another video. If you're new to this channel, we talk about fragrance related topics, so if there's something that you're interested in, please consider hitting that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that notification bell so you'll be notified every single time I upload. Today's video is going to be about fragrances that can be worn at night on cold weather days. So with the fragrances that I chose, I try to choose fragrances that I really don't talk about much and I don't really hear much about. A couple of them are fragrances that you hear, quite a bit about. But for the most part, I try to throw a couple in there that, I haven't talked about much at all, or I haven't heard talked about much at all. So let's go ahead and dive into this. All right, so the first fragrance we're going to talk about is from the house of Calvin Klein, and it's none other than CK Shock. All right, so this fragrance right here is a tobacco-based fragrance. It's a fragrance that, although it's very, very affordable, it's very, very cheap, and you see it in a lot of those stores like Ross and Marshalls, TJ Maxx. It's a fragrance that I feel actually stands up to more expensive fragrances and more well-known fragrances, okay? So like I said, it has that tobacco and it has some fruity notes in it, which kind of gives a balance, so it's not just a dry tobacco type of fragrance. It's nothing like that. It also has some lavender, which kind of throws in a little bit of that fougere vibe as well. So it's kind of like sweet fougere with some tobacco. It's very dense, it's very strong actually. Like I said, although it is cheap, very affordable, this thing here actually stands up, man. I'm telling you, it's really, really nice, really, really good. Performance is great on my skin, and it does cut through that cold weather with no problem. At least on my skin it does. Something that I really, really love about this fragrance is that, not only does it cut through the cold weather, this is one of those fragrances that I would consider kind of like a grab and go fragrance when you're considering a fragrance that is more on the sweeter side, more on the darker side. Normally we kind of consider like a grab and go fragrance or a dumb reach fragrance. We kind of put that in the category of fresh and citrusy, just something really, really easy to wear. But when we're talking about, cold weather fragrances, this is what I would consider to be just a dumb reach, a grab and go type of fragrance. It smells really, really good, but at the same time, it does have that density and it has a richness that will help cut through the cold weather. So again, from the house of Calvin Klein, CK Shock. All right, so the next fragrance we're gonna talk about is from the house of Bentley, and it's Bentley for Men Intense. Now, I know a lot of people heard about this fragrance. This fragrance actually received a lot of hype in, I want to say, was it like 2018, 2019, possibly 2017? I don't remember. But it did have its time. It did have that time where it was that fragrance that was really cheap, easy to find, and very, very good. And honestly, I can see why people were really raving about Bentley for Men Intense. It is one of those fragrances that, yes, it is a designer, but it has niche quality. It has a little bit of spice in it. It has the incense vibe going on. It is sweet, okay? And honestly, for me, when I wear this, I get somewhat of a cacao vibe, kind of like chocolate, but I don't see that note listed, in the note breakdown. And it does have the leather notes and it does have the woody note. But to me, I don't really get the leather too much in this fragrance. For me, I'm just mainly getting, the sweeter notes. I'm getting the spiciness and the incense vibes. And the reason why I consider this to be, a fragrance that can really, really cut through the cold weather and wear at nighttime is simply because, for me, it's a very sexy fragrance. It's a very intoxicating fragrance. And it's a fragrance that kind of gives off a delicious vibe. To me, like I said, I get kind of a chocolatey vibe. So, if it's a cold, brisk night and you out and about, maybe with your partner or something like that, look, if you smell like some warm chocolate, man, like you really can't go wrong with that on a cool, breezy night, man. So again, from the house of Bentley, Bentley for Men Intense. So the next fragrance we're gonna talk about is from the house of Issey Miyake, and it's none other than Pulse of the Night. One of the cleanest bottles, man, in my collection. I absolutely love this bottle. Now, I really didn't want to put this fragrance in this list simply because it's actually hard to find, but sometimes it still does pop up on FragranceNet, and it does continue to be affordable. It's normally around the $50 to $60 mark, so it's not a fragrance that's going to break the bank. This fragrance right here is really, really heavy in the incense. It almost has kind of like a balsamic resonance sweetness as well. It does have some herbaceousness, and to me it comes off a little bit airy, kind of like I don't know, it's just like when you smell it, yes, it's sweet, yes, it's rich, yes, it's dense, but it does have this airiness thing going on. And I really, really enjoyed that because it actually adds a little bit of character to it. That touch of airiness in it, man, really just kind of takes this fragrance to another level, in my opinion. This fragrance right here is a fragrance that I feel is just perfect for a night out on a cold day because the performance is great. Like I said, it is sweet, it is dark, it is rich, but it's one of those fragrances that I would consider to be one of those cuddle buddy type of fragrances. Like, you know, it's something that kind of sits close to the skin, although it does leave a nice scent bubble around you. It does sit close to the skin. And what it does is, to me, it gives off this kind of cool, calm and collected guy vibe. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I really like about this one. So, you know, if you're going out on a date and it's cold outside, it's brisky, go ahead and put you on a couple of sprays, maybe 4, maybe 5, and you're gonna steal the show, man. I guarantee it. So again, from the house of Issey Miyake, Pulse of the Night. All right, so the next fragrance we're gonna talk about is from the house of Atelier Cologne, and it's none other than Oud Saphir. Now, this is a fragrance that I've never reviewed. I've never talked about it. And I don't know why, man. This is a great fragrance. Now, this is obviously an oud-based fragrance, right? Yes, it is an animalic oud, right? But this one right here has some floral components, right? And it's also a sweet oud. So, yes, when you first spray it on, it is a bit strong, a bit in your face, right? But as it starts to dry down, it does develop somewhat of a sweetness, somewhat of a coziness, while the oud is still maintaining its strength. It kind of gives off the effect of ombre leather, you know, and it does come off a little bit strong, but it's a bit more inviting than the rest of the leather fragrances that you normally would smell on the market. So that's how this one is, you know, it's a bit more inviting, it's a bit more smooth. It does have that sweetness mixed with the oud. So, you know, if you kind of want to start to get into oud fragrances and you want something that is strong, but not too strong to where you feel uncomfortable with wearing it around people, you know, Oud Saphir will definitely do you right. So yes, I would definitely say wear this on a night out when it's cold and brisky outside, because the punching power in this is just so strong. It's going to cut through that cold weather all night long. But I would definitely tell you this, please be easy on the trigger, man. Do not go heavy on the trigger on this because it is a very potent oud fragrance. Although it does have this sweetness, that oud is very potent. So be easy on the trigger, all right? So again, from the house of Atelier Cologne, Oud Saphir. All right, so the last fragrance we're gonna talk about is from the house of Gucci, and it's none other than Gucci Guilty Absolute. Man, oh man, this is a fragrance that I am so happy I picked up. And honestly, I know a lot of people will smell this and be like, man, that stuff is just too strong. Like, it's just too out there. And I wouldn't be able to argue with you on that, but it's a very masculine, sexy fragrance in my opinion, man. It's dry, it's smoky, it's leathery. This is one of those fragrances that, yes, you're gonna have to dress up, preferably probably all black, or, you know, kind of like that dark brown, maybe dark brown leather jacket with black tee, black jeans, or black slacks, black shoes, something like that. This fragrance, yes, it is strong. It's very potent. Probably one of the strongest fragrances I have in my entire collection. But like I said, it's masculine, it's sexy, it's a showstopper. When you wear this and you pass by people, they're going to notice you, they're going to want to know what you're wearing, and you're going to leave a good impression on people as long as you dress it up. You can't just go out there in a white tee, some basketball shorts, or nothing like that. You have to dress this up. But like I said, dress it up a little bit, but keep it a little rugged, man. I'm telling you, you're going to steal the show. I feel this is a perfect, you know, cool nighttime weather fragrance because it is so potent, it's so strong, it's gonna slice through that cold weather with no problem. And as long as you dress it right, you're gonna be the one that's smelling sexy, smelling sophisticated, and smelling masculine, man. So again, from the house of Gucci, Gucci Guilty Absolute. All right, guys, so that's gonna wrap up this video. I want you to go in the comment section, let me know a fragrance that you love to wear during the cold winter nights, man. And if you like any of the fragrances that I have in my lineup, go ahead and let me know which one down there in that comment section. If you like the video, go ahead and give your boy a thumbs up, and that's it. Take care. Peace.